Hello, this is Becoming a Millionaire. One of the things that I wanted to talk about that is so important that a lot of people don't understand is the simple fact that there is another way to save money, which is an incredible thing that you can do. It's called a 401k. That's just the name the government gave it. I don't know why, but it is. So, what a 401k does is where a company offers to match your money that you put in. So, my company that I work for offered that if I put in 6% into a retirement account, they would put in 6% into a retirement account. Again, it's called a 401k. Now, some of the things you need to understand, it might take 6 months before you're eligible. So you need to put that on your calendar or in your phone as a reminder to do, and because it's very important. So it's like, imagine this is that if I throw down $6 on the table, my company stands there and puts another $6 against it. And that works out very, very well over time. Again, time is your friend. Time is going to be the thing that makes you the money to become a millionaire for retirement. So my company also did another thing is every year after you qualified, they would up your personal input a percentage a year. So the next year it was 7%, then 8%, then 9%, and 10%. And that was the max they would take out. Now, one of the things you need to understand is that you can decline this, and that's fine. But first off, getting the money is the most important thing from them because they're giving it to you. Now, this money is going to be different than the Roth IRA I discussed. It is going to be pre-tax money, which means they take it out of your check before you're taxed. So you're taxed on less money, but you'll have to pay the tax later on, which is not a bad thing to go with because your total money is earning interest. Now, a side note is there's been a formula called 50-30-20. 50% of your paycheck is for the bills, 30% is for you, and 20% is for retirement. Now, I just mentioned the 16%. I think that is good enough. But if you want to go the 20, if you can afford it, please do, because then you'll be able, when you retire, you'll be able to do things later in your life that are a lot more fun than sitting at home watching TV or on your phone. You can go travel, which I highly recommend. Now, some of the things about a 401k that they have is that sometimes you're very limited on what you get to choose. My company used Fidelity, which I highly recommend to use, and they use Fidelity all the time. I use Fidelity in my personal for Roth IRA accounts. I do everything through Fidelity because I trust them. So you can go in there and you can decide what to do with your 401k. One of the things that they have is up to 25. Mine was up to 25 different accounts that I could invest in, and I could separate it out. I could select 10 of them or 5 of them or 1 of them. And something about a 401k you want to be very careful of is that you're working for a company. Let's just call it Company A. So you decide that Company A is doing very well and you invest all your 401k into Company A stock. The problem with that is that your livelihood, your paycheck, is going to be from that company. If they do well, fantastic. But if you've got all your money invested in them and something happens and it goes to zero, you will have zero in your 401k except for what you put in. And sometimes on a 401k, it takes 5 years before you're vested. That's a word that they use. And I heard a while back that a lot of the generations now were working 5 years at a company, maybe 5.5, becoming vested, and then that way they could move to a different company, which they might find a better job. I know my son has found better jobs and decided to go with them. And you can move that 401k over to your new company. The money moves with you. It's your money. But make sure that you're vested, that the money that the company has given you is yours. And you want to make sure that it gets moved correctly. Be careful about having them send you checks to do. You don't want to touch the money. You just want it transferred, because you always have to worry about the IRS looking at money you received and wanting you to be taxed on it. So a 401k is an incredible thing that you can do. The one time, and I'll admit this, the company I work for was going to be bought out by a world company. That's what I'm trying to say. International company is the word I'm looking for. And so the thing that we did, I talked to some of my coworkers who were pretty experienced, and I am pretty experienced about this. We piled everything we owned into the 401k, which was stock of the company. I talked to other people to do this, and they said, I can't chance it. I can't take a chance. I can't risk it, and I just can't. And I said, okay. Now, I've always been a very aggressive type of investor. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the aggressive, I'm at a 9. I don't do the 10 because sometimes they do international stocks. We'd not rather stay in the United States. But you get to pick what you want to do. But in this instance, we put everything into the company stock. We knew we were going to get bought out, and we held on for quite a while, and we almost decided to sell it at $10 below we did, because my friend was going, it's not going to go, we're not going to make it, and we need to do that. And I said, hang on, I feel it, it's coming. So we got out at the amount we wanted. I achieved my goal of how much I wanted to get, and then it worked out great. I have met some people, and I know that this one guy that I work for at the company, he met his goal at 50 years old, and he was still working for the company because he wanted the paycheck. He had a dual income because his wife was a hairdresser, so they both piled their money in different things. But at 50, he was already done for his financial goals. That's wonderful. Now, on the type of deal like that, you want to make sure of when you want to retire. And now it's like 62, you start getting Social Security, which I don't recommend. Full retirement is 67, and they may change that, which is okay. But I'm going to take mine at 70, and we'll discuss Social Security later, because they pay you more, and you're using your money, and then the government starts paying you. So the main thing is, again, you need to act upon this. And so as I always say, and I'm going to say it again, like, subscribe, comment, and please tell people to watch this program and do it. Don't sit there and say, I'll do it later. Don't sit there and say, oh, I'll do it. Set your calendar in your phone. Get on Fidelity, as I always talk about. Start your Roth IRA. Talk to your company about your 401k. You can start it as soon as you come in, or as soon as they let you, and just start doing it, because they take it out of your paycheck before you get it, and you'll never know it. And one of the greatest things about this is that it has been proven that if you put money into an IRA, you will not pay as much tax as you would. Some people are at level 6 and they're still paying level 3 taxes. So you save that way also. You actually get more money in your pocket. Now, here's your funny story time, is that I had a coworker come in. She was a young woman, and I talked to her many, many times about starting her 401k. And she goes, okay, I will, I promise. She never did. And so I think she started it at her 9th year, and then on her 10th year, they let her go, and that was it. So did she get the money? Yes, because that's the way my company was. They didn't have a 5-year vesting. But for 9 years, she did not invest and get that money. And again, if whatever it is, if it's 2%, 3, 5, I know Boeing just went to 8%, do it. So again, I'm going to say the 3 things: like, subscribe, hit the bell, but please, the main thing is share this video, Becoming a Millionaire, to people so that all of you can go travel together if that's what you want to do when you retire. Thank you very much, and I will send more out.